Hello guys, good evening, and it's Thursday again. Okay, so I saw Deborah mention just now. Deborah said Thursday with lunch actually webinars, like for her it's like an awesome way to spend her Thursday evening. Thank you so much, Deborah. Hello, hi guys. So how are you guys feeling today? Let me know in the chat if you're here. Feel free to say hi. Yes, Hess say hello, Violet and Christina. Hello, Hess. How are you? Hello, Lil. Hello, Hojono. Yep. So let me know you're here. Type in the chat box right now. So I just want to say hi to all our newcomers as well. So this is actually a webinar. So the difference is that if you're not able to speak, not to worry. That's how it works. However, you can interact with us using the chat box, which a lot of you are doing it right now. Let me see. Hi, Ellen. Hi, Abby. Hi, Gladys. Hi, Joseph. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Teresa. Okay, some of you say the screen is blank. Are you able to see me? Yeah, okay, let me just move myself into the speaker spotlight. Yeah, let me know you're able to see me, okay? So hi White Kid, hi Ashraf, hi Sawani, hi Nick, Sinhui, Purple. Yes, okay, so let me know if you can see me. If you can't, yes, let me know and then I can just make sure it works. Okay, so how's everybody's week so far? I was just asking one of our speakers just now, James, is he actually still working from home or he's already going to the office? What about you guys? Are you still working from home or are you going to the office? Yeah, let me know. Yes, so David say, yes, can see you. Awesome. David say, very cooling week. Yes, I agree, like the weather has been quite nice. Cindy say still working from home. And then Ashraf say totally working from the office. Okay. And then, yeah, a number of you are still working from home. Okay, awesome. So, let me see. Okay, I do see quite a number of familiar names. So, welcome back. For those of you who are new, yeah, like what I was mentioning just now, you can chat with us in the chat box and you can also ask us questions in the Q&A box. So tonight, it's going to be really fun because we just want to chill on this very nice, lovely night. I mean, at least in Singapore, it has been raining. So it's really quite chilly and, I think it's nice to chill out. Yeah, but also let me know if you're here for the first time, so who are you are actually here for the first time? Let me know. Yep. So I think some of you are still saying that have to work from home, because the COVID numbers have gone up. I think maybe like that's for our Malaysian participants. Yes, Evelyn says she's new. Gordon, yeah, Gordon always say that he's new, but he's been here so many times. Thanks, Gordon, for your support. David say I'm here third time already. Wow, awesome. Thanks for your support, guys. Yes, so let us know if you're new and also let us know where you're from. Yeah, so I think I see some of you saying like Indonesia is also raining hard. Yeah, so where yeah, Kaironisa say I'm new. Has say I'm from Malaysia. Yes, yeah, Ripka say I'm from Indonesia. David said I'm from the red dot. Awesome. Yeah, Billy. Yes, you're new for today. Awesome. Thanks, Billy. Yeah, Billy is one of our regulars. And Grace say I'm here from Malaysia. Gordon say I'm from Earth. Okay, thanks, Gordon. Okay, I can see a lot of our regulars tonight. You're all like having some fun, right? Like giving me a lot of tricky answers. Gladys from Singapore. Yeah, and Sawani say from Malaysia, my third time. Sanjaya say I'm new here from Jakarta. Awesome. Do we have anybody from Hong Kong today or maybe even Thailand? Let us know. We want to welcome you as well. Okay, so how we go about it? Yes, Cindy from Hong Kong, welcome back. So how we go about it is we want to keep this fun, we want to keep this interactive, we want to, like keep it engaging. So it's really going to be a two-way thing, not just, me talking or like just our speakers talking, right? So as we go along, we'll be launching some polls or surveys, you would be able to see it right in front of you. So you can just take part. And like I say, please use the chat box to communicate with us, like what you have been doing. And yeah, as we go along, like I would read out, some of your messages and things like that. Okay, and like I say, you can also ask questions in the Q&A box. So at about like maybe 9:40, 9:35, 9:40-ish, we will actually look at all the questions that have been posted, and then we'll do our best to go through most of the questions if we can. Yes, Deborah, good to know that you have updated Zoom and now you can see me nice and clear. Awesome. Okay, so and a couple of things, you know, like if you're new, we also would like to find out how did you actually find out about this webinar. Okay, so I'm going to launch a poll right now. Okay, so this is the practice for you guys, you know, who's joining us for the first time. Yeah, so you should see the poll in front of you right now. So let us know, how do you actually find out about the webinar today? Yes, okay, so quite a number of you have voted. So those of you who have not voted, come join us, join in the fun, okay? Like our webinar is really about taking action and doing things, you know, not just sitting there. So yes, awesome. So almost half of you have voted already. So if you have not voted, yeah, join in the fun. Let's vote. Okay, so I'm just going to give you a couple more seconds and then, you know, like I'm going to close the poll. Okay, so interestingly, usually most of you actually know about our webinar because of the email that we have sent out. So I guess, you know, some of you are probably either already our members or you are our subscribers, you know, to our newsletter. Awesome. So quite a number of you know about our webinar through that. We do have quite a number of you who know about us from our Lunch Actually Facebook and Lunch Actually Instagram as well. So for those of you who have not followed us on Facebook and Instagram, you can do so. So very simple, you know, like our Instagram handle is at Lunch Actually, and same thing for our Facebook. And some of you say that you have come across it through Google search, and some of you say you have saw it on our website. And yes, very awesome to see that some of you actually heard it from your friends. Your friends actually referred you. Yes, so for those of you who have been attending quite a number of our webinars and you actually have benefited from it, right? So pay it forward, you know, share it with your friends as well, because I think, you know, like why not enjoy good things for yourself, right? Because some of you have shared with us that you have really enjoyed our webinar. So yes, do let your friends know about it as well. Okay, so I think my next question for you is actually what attracted you to actually join us for tonight's webinar? So why tonight's webinar? Okay, so launching the poll right now. Yeah, so let us know. So why did you decide to join tonight? Yeah. Okay, interesting. I think the answers are also quite interesting. So I think those of you who have been joining us for a while, you know that like the wonderful person who has been making sure all our webinars happen week after week is like Christina, right? So she's the one who came up with the poll. So I thought the answers are really quite interesting for tonight, which is one of the answers is no special reason. And then some of you actually say no special reason. Maybe those of you who have said no special reason, right? Like, so what is it? You just happen to be very free tonight, you know, or what is the reason? You can share with us. Ziming has actually said in a chat, you know, I've lost my touch and I want to be motivated. Awesome. Yeah, that's the spirit. So I think it's really important that, you know, we constantly, you know, improve ourselves, upgrade ourselves. And I think, yes, just getting the energy from, you know, everybody here is really important. Okay, so almost 70% have voted. So let me share with you what everybody have said. So the highest number is that I want to pick up some tips from the 2 successful clients tonight. Yay! Okay, so I think our 2 speakers now, they are like, wow, very happy, you know. I hope this motivate them to give us even better sharing tonight than whatever they have already prepared. Awesome. And then the second highest is actually the topic is interesting. So I guess, you know, you're also here because you want to hear some tips from our successful clients. Okay, and then I've been a loyal supporter of your webinars and call in almost every week. So that's the next highest, followed by I enjoy the energy of the webinar. Yay! Thank you guys for your support. I usually get a lot of value and knowledge from the webinar. And yes, there's quite a number of you who say no special reason. That's interesting. Okay, thank you so much, guys. I think that's great. You know, like thanks for participating in the poll. And I am very excited to begin tonight's webinar because, you know, like to be very honest, like I have met one of our speakers tonight. However, I have not personally met the other speaker. So I also want to hear his success story just like you know. So I'm very, very excited to hear more about, you know, like what is their first impression of their, you know, like at that time, did they know, you know, this person is going to be their spouse, things like that. So who's excited to find out more? Who want to hear more? type love right now in the chat box. Yes, yes, yes. Let's see, you know, like, yes, okay, I see like Has, I see White Kid, Grace, Billy, Ashraf, Forrest Wood, Ziming, Deborah, Adjono, Gladys, Evelyn, David, Jane, Purple, Anna, Nick. Wow, awesome. You know, so lots of love being sent out. Okay, so I hope our speakers tonight are also feeling a lot of love from our participants tonight. Okay, so before I introduce our guest for tonight, which I'm sure you're very excited to meet, I'm just going to do a very quick introduction of myself and the company because I know that there are some newcomers for tonight. So as most of you know, my name is Violet, as you can see from the Zoom box. So I'm the CEO and co-founder of Lunch actually. So started this company about 16 years ago with my then boyfriend, now husband. It has been an amazing journey so far. I mean, of course, there have been ups and downs, but I would say this is a very, very fulfilling industry. You know, like I personally think that there's not many industry that you can actually make such a great difference in someone's life, and not just someone's life, but really generations to come as well. So yes, there have been some, you know, real downs, and, you know, like there are times that I feel like, oh my goodness, you know, like why did I do this? But like, I think some of you have seen the video just now. It's really, you know, like looking at the photos of our successful couples and even photos of their kids that really keep me going, because I know that, you know, like if we are not around, like maybe some of these couples would not even have met each other. So right now we are in actually 5 different locations: Singapore, Malaysia, Hong Kong, Indonesia, and Thailand. And we do a lot of different things. And of course, the webinar is one of the things that we do. And the reason why we do it is because of our matching philosophy. So we do not believe that finding the right one is just about meeting the right one, which is what a lot of people believe in, you know, like, so they go on all the various different platforms out there. But we believe that finding the right one is really about being the right one, meeting the right one, and then choosing the right one. And we believe that using platforms is only able to help with meeting the right one. So how do we help our clients or even singles out there to, you know, like be the best version of themselves? And we believe that it's really through coaching, and it's also through webinars like this. So that is actually the reason why we have been so motivated to do webinars week after week, because we believe that we want to help you to be the best version of yourself, to really upgrade your mindset as well as your skill set, which is what some of you have said as well. So of course, you know, like other than our matchmaking and also our coaching services, we have also recently launched an app as well. So some of you might have downloaded it, and now it's still very much in the beta version. It's still very new, but as it goes along, we are going to be adding a lot more cool features to it to I would say help our members, you know, to you know, like just to make the entire journey a lot easier. Okay, so that's me. And of course, you know, like if you like to follow me on IG, you know, like my handle is very easy, again, at Violet Lim. And you can follow me on Facebook as well. And on Facebook, I'm at /Asia Love Guru. Okay, so that's all about me. And now drum roll, I'm very, very excited because now we are going to welcome our 2 guests. Okay, so first and foremost, let's bring them on screen, Chris. You know, like maybe we need to get them to share their video. So you'll be able to see one of our guests tonight. However, our other guest, he's quite shy. So unfortunately, you need to hear his sexy voice. Okay, so like I would like to welcome right now, I'd like to welcome James, and I would like to welcome Shaoyang. So I'm very, very happy for both of you guys to be here. Thank you so much for taking time out to join us tonight. So maybe our community, right? I mean, like those of you especially that you have been here, you know, so many times, like please give a very warm lunch actually welcome to James and Shaoyang. Yes, so please type in the chat right now. Welcome. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so I'm just going to ask to unmute. I'm going to ask Shaoyang and James to unmute. So yes, I've unmuted them. And yeah, Shaoyang, maybe you want to start your video as well. And then let's start with a quick introduction. Yeah, Shaoyang. So Shaoyang, you want to give a quick introduction of yourself, you know, like what do you do, you know, like how long have you been married for, what's your hobbies and interests, things like that.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Violet. I hope I'm loud enough to say what I'm saying. So,
Yes.
okay, a little bit about myself. I'm an entrepreneur. So I used to be a former school teacher before I hop over to my current tutoring business. So how I come to know about lunch actually was that I saw their advertisements in one of the newspapers. Well, actually, I can't really remember. So I guess it's just a branding. So I think that was like about maybe oh, that was quite fast. Like maybe about 8 years ago. So yeah, so I joined lunch actually about 8 years ago, hopefully to find okay, I can't say hopefully as well lah. Just say
Because you
yeah.
found already.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah,
Yes.
so I joined lunch actually to find a suitable partner to settle down with.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the things that I'm interested in, like play my guitar, which I've done quite a few times on my dates,
Mm-hmm.
and also enjoying reading and reading and probably in the past maybe playing video games in the past. So I mean that's a bit about myself. So
Okay,
currently,
so
yeah,
don't tell too much first because we have the questions for you. Okay, so I think our participants now have a better idea of who you are. Okay, so we want to test whether you guys have been listening. So how many years ago did he join lunch actually? Okay, let's see if you have been listening. Yeah, I'll type in the chat. Wow, very
why
good.
do you want?
Deborah, I think she typed a bit too fast. She meant 8, not 881. Okay, awesome. You Shi Chin wrote 8, Asu wrote 8, Jane 8. Wow, very good. Everybody's listening. Good job. And what is one of his interests and hobbies? What does he like to do in his free time? Reading, guitar. Wow, very good. Wow. I tell you what, that's why they are very attentive and they are listening to every single word. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Okay, so we actually have another guest as well. So we have James. Okay, hi, James. How are you?
Hi everyone.
Yes,
Hi
yes. So,
Violet. Hi
James, would you
everyone. Yeah.
like to, do a quick introduction of yourself as well?
Sure. I am. So I joined Lunch actually in 2017. That's about 3 years
Mm,
ago. So
yes,
I'm in the logistics industry.
yes.
I run the country. I'm the country manager for a logistics company.
Mm-hmm.
So some of my hobbies, I like to go to the gym. I'm a bit of a
Yes,
foodie, so I like to
yes,
find new places to try new food, and
yes.
join lunch actually obviously to hopefully widen my network and meet my wife. So we've been married now for about two
Mm,
years. So that's very
awesome.
recent as well.
Yes.
So yes.
Okay, thank you, James. Yeah, so yeah, I am sorry. That's why I say James is a bit shy, lah. So unfortunately, he's not going to be showing his face tonight. But at the same time, let's see if you guys have been listening to James. So what does James do for a living? Yeah, what is his job? Yeah, logistics. Wow, good job. Logistics. Wow, everybody here, logistics. Very good. So what year did he join lunch actually? Likes to find good food, correct? 2017. Wow, very good. Okay, awesome. So we have introduced two of our guests, special guests for tonight, Shaoyang and James. Just now, like I saw a question from Ryan. Yeah, Ryan, so I'm not avoiding your question. I saw a question. So Ryan said, how come two guys? Like why no ladies join you all? We also wish that the ladies can join us, but then I think sometimes the ladies are a bit shy lah. So we are still working on it. So we do ask the ladies, we say, hey, why don't you come join us and share your love journey with our participants? But we are still working on it. Yeah, so correct lor. So ladies always paise it. Not always lah. Some ladies they are willing to share. But maybe Shaoyang and James, since both of you are here tonight, you maybe can share on behalf of your wife's story lah. If they are willing for you to share. No need to show their face, but you can share from their perspective as well. But yes, like we are working on it, like we are encouraging our successful lady clients to come on board to share as well. So akan datang, okay? So you all stay tuned. Okay, so we have prepared some awesome questions to ask both of our gentlemen tonight. That's why just now I told Shaoyang, I said, okay, don't review so much first. Okay, so first question. Okay, so let's see who wants to go first, James or Shaoyang. Okay, so before you actually join lunch, actually, right, what were some of the platforms or methods that you have used to meet singers out there? So maybe this time we start with James first lah.
Yeah, in the past it was just introduction from friends or
Mm,
colleagues. That is quite a limited circle. I mean, whoever
yes,
you knew and whoever you got
yep,
to know, it's a small circle, and there's a limit to that. Obviously, I've also
yes,
tried Tinder, but that
yes,
is not a very serious website. I think
yes,
there's
yes,
serious people in it, but I think
yeah.
a lot are more looking for not a long term, may not be on the same objective, long term objective. So yeah, those are the few things through personal friend referrals and maybe even Tinder. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So, like, how was the experience on Tinder? I mean, you did say that like most of the people are not looking for serious relationship lah. But did you end up being able to go on some dates, and how did it work out for you?
Yeah, I think the experience on Tinder was a lot of swiping, a
Okay.
lot of swiping. Yeah. I
Okay.
think it's very much based on appearance, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's not a bad thing. I mean, everyone
Yeah.
wants to date someone who looks pleasant, at least,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yeah.
So that's the reality of life. That's fine. But a lot of swiping and a lot of time is spent swiping, but not so much into getting to know the person's character, the person's
Yes.
background.
Yes.
I think
Got
that's
it. Got it.
not very deep. So it's very superficial. I mean, there are one or two dates
Yes.
that I've got from Tinder. You know, we've met
Mm-hmm.
up and stuff like that. But I
Yes.
think it's very focused. So it really depends on what you're looking for and
Mm.
the phase in life you're going through.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, James, for sharing. And then we have Deborah who say, wow, this one, how many zeros are? Deborah not only 100% agree, Deborah say 10,000 percent agree. Okay, so this one may be a bit sensitive, this question, but I'll ask anyway, see if James and Shaoyang are open to share. So Jasper asks, how old are James and Shaoyang when they first joined lunch actually? Are you all okay to share?
Yeah, why not? I mean,
James? Yeah,
I joined lunch actually how many years? 2017, 3, 4 years ago.
yes,
I
yes.
was I was 37,
37.
37.
Okay,
Yeah,
thanks,
37. Yeah.
James. Okay, Xiaoyang, what about you? How old were you when you joined lunch actually?
I think about 30, I think.
About
I think,
30, yeah.
yeah, about 30.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so Xiaoyang, your turn to answer this question. So before you join lunch actually, what were some of the methods or ways that you have used to meet other singers?
I guess probably the free platform called SDN. So
Oh,
that's where they
okay.
have, yeah. So I think that was my first exposure to online dating. So
Okay, okay.
yeah. So but
So
apart from that,
I think
not much.
maybe we need to also cater for our non-Singaporeans lah. Okay, so maybe first
Mm.
we ask first for our Singaporean friends, what does SDN stand for? Do you all know SDN? Yeah, let's see if you all know SDN. Then you all can type in the chat box. Yeah. Okay, so white kids say social development network. Okay. Correct. You're right. Yeah, social development network. Yeah. So just to share with our non-Singaporean friends, yes, so SDN is the government's matchmaking arm lah. But actually now they have taken a step back, so they don't focus so much on social distancing neutralizer. No. Social development network. Yeah, so they don't focus so much on arranging the events now. So they are more like an accreditor, and also they just want to make sure that the companies that like doing this industry, like is accredited lah. So we are actually one of the accredited companies as well. Yes, and now it's also called Sparks Connection. You're right. Yes, okay, Shaoyang, sorry to interrupt. So you heard about SDN, and then so you participated in some of the SDN events.
Not really lah. So
Oh,
I
not
mean I
really.
just no. I think I only started joining social events when I joined lunch actually,
Mm,
because I was just like, okay, maybe I'll just talk to people and and maybe
mm,
talk to the girls and see whether they're interested. And
yep.
I think that was about that lah. I think there was not much
Mm,
progress, and I didn't understand why. And so I thought, maybe why not try lunch actually for a different experience, because
mm,
matchmaking is not something. I mean, I've never been matchmade before by my parents or anyone. I mean,
mm-hmm.
so I thought why not give it a try and see how it works.
Yep. Okay. So our second question for both of you is like, what are some of the past dating challenges that you might have, and how did you actually overcome them? So maybe Xiaoyang, you want to take this one first?
Oh, that is a very interesting question. So, the number one dating challenge I had was trying to understand how ladies think, which was actually a huge mistake that I made because I realized that well, I think Violet, you're laughing probably because you know what the answer is. So because it's like trying to focus on logic actually only brings you further away from the person that you're trying to find out more. So I think that was the biggest mistake because I was trying to understand what they were trying to say instead of trying to, listen to what they were saying and being interested in what they have to say. Yeah,
Mm.
so I think that was the biggest mistake. And I felt that, maybe, if I had been a little bit more observant, I would have probably like listened to the, the unsaid unsaid lines, the dialogue, the body language cues and things like that. So that was always like one of the biggest challenges I always had when I went out with ladies. Because it's like,
Okay, let's see if
yeah.
anybody else also have this challenge. So anybody here also have a similar challenge to what Shaoyang has just mentioned? Deborah say laughing inside now. Ha 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 ha. Then Ashraf say yes, me too. Okay, Shaoyang, so like you can see you are not alone. So how did you actually overcome this challenge once you realized that this was something that might be like stopping you from being able to go forward?
Okay, that's a good question. So I actually read up quite a number of books, look out on YouTube videos to find out, like, why ladies behave the way they behave, why do they think the way they think. So it's like I bought your book before and read
Oh,
through it,
thank
and
you.
then the 15,000
even
dates, I think.
even though my book is written for ladies, right? But you thought maybe
Yeah.
by reading a book written for ladies, then you can understand ladies better.
Yeah, you can also put it
Okay.
that way, like trying to inverse the strategy. It's like,
Yes, yes,
oh,
yes,
okay,
yes.
okay. So yeah, I read a lot. I read up quite a lot. Went to the bookshops, and then I also look up on YouTube, like some of the videos about, how actually guys, like how to speak to a lady, how to talk to a lady. I think I even went to the extent like watching pickup artist videos about how they talk to
Mm-hmm.
ladies. So I mean, I tried almost every possible way
Yep.
to actually overcome this challenge. So I
Mm.
also realized that I'm just doing it myself, and I have no one else watching over me, guiding me
Mm.
in terms of my progress. So
Yep.
that's why I thought that, maybe, like, given that you all had some other services like dating
Yes.
coaches and
Yes.
image coaching as well. So I
Yep.
thought maybe, like, maybe that this might be some of the other things that might help me to maybe understand ladies a little bit better, especially in
Mm-hmm.
terms of like having a date coach to watch over your back while while you go out and meet ladies, and maybe they'll just be kind enough. I mean, not the ladies, but the coaches will be kind enough to say, like, what works and what doesn't work, and so on and so forth lah.
Awesome.
So yeah, so I mean, in a nutshell, you can't do it alone. You have to either get
Mm.
your friends to watch over you, or you have to find like a coach to pinpoint your blind spots.
Mm. Okay, Ken, we will go a bit deeper into that. Thanks, Shaoyang, for sharing. James, what about you? Like, I mean, did you have like any like maybe dating challenges? I mean, other than you mentioned that for Tinder, it's just a lot of swiping, and then like maybe people who are not so serious about relationships. Is there any other dating challenges that you faced?
I think one of them would be trying to find a good fit in terms of what you're
Mm.
looking for, the
Yep.
type of personality, what a life goals this person has, trying to find that kind of criteria, I would say, to fit and
Yes.
match. It's not easy. So I
Yes.
think those are the challenges. You want to identify them quickly. At least for me,
Yes.
I'm quite an impatient person. I like to get things
Yes.
done.
Yeah,
So
you probably high D, yeah. Do
high
you
D,
do a DISC profile? Should be high D, right?
maybe, probably, yeah, probably,
Okay.
yeah. So very task oriented. I like to get things
Yes.
done. So
Yes.
so I wanted to be very focused in my pursuit for
Yes.
my goal
Yes.
objectives, which is ultimately finding someone to settle down. So I think
Yes.
finding that match in terms of personality, character, life goals is not easy.
Yes.
Those are the
Yes.
challenges. Of course, I think I agree with Shaoyang. I think trying to understand what the other party, the lady, or it could be a lady or a guy, whatever they are looking for, what they're
Yes.
thinking. The
Yep.
non-verbal cues are not easy as well. So I
Yep.
think with lunch, actually, after going on a date, the consultants actually speak to both parties and try to find out more about what
Yes.
has not been said, about what has not
Yeah.
been said or verbalized. Yeah,
Yep.
so I think that are some of the challenges that can
Okay.
come out. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you. Okay, so I think maybe we go step by step lah, because I think some of the our participants tonight, they might be also very new to the lunch actually process, right? So I think, you know, both of you have shared a bit about like maybe even the coaching process, or maybe even the feedback process. But maybe let's just go back to the first part of it, right? Which is the consultation. So maybe we start with James this time lah. So how did the consultation go? Like, do you still remember? I mean, it was like 3 years ago, right? Like, do you remember your consultation? You know, do you remember how did the consultant actually conducted that entire profiling process? You know, like, how do you feel about it? Like, how did you like learn more about yourself from that process? Maybe you can share a bit more.
I think the consultants learn more about me than learn about myself. So yeah, I still remember my consultants was Rose and was Joy, and both of them did a fantastic job. You know, sat down with
Yeah,
me in the room, try
yeah,
to be a friend and try to understand what I'm looking for.
yes,
They've asked very specific questions, very
yes,
focused questions on what I'm looking for in my partner. What are my
yes,
goals? What is my
yeah,
background? So everything's very specific, logical.
yeah,
You know, I like that.
mm-hmm.
And they also said a few things that we will do our best to match up with someone that you want, but it
Yeah,
may not be 100%. So there
yes,
must be some expectations and understanding
yes,
that it is not going to be 100% match. But a lot of
yes,
time is spent trying to understand me, what kind of person I am,
yes,
and what I'm looking for in order to match with the other person, with the lady
yes,
as well. Yes.
yeah. Were
So
there
yeah, it
any
was a very
questions? Yeah, were there any questions that they asked you that you were like, oh wow, okay, I never really thought about that, and like, you know, like you felt that would that was actually quite insightful for you as well, or like, you know, it were able to give them some insights about who you are.
I think they asked me so many questions. I cannot remember. A long list. They even gave me some homework. They gave me an email of questions that I had to spend time
Think
to
about
complete.
it.
Yeah, think about it. And they
Yes,
said,
yes,
don't send it to me. Don't send it back to me so soon. I was
yes,
gonna finish it in a day and send it back quickly, but they say,
yeah,
please sit on it.
yeah,
Think about it. Is that truly what you are? What you are looking for as well? So quite a
yes,
lot of
yes,
questions. I don't remember any specific question, but I know it
yes,
was a very in-depth questionnaire, both
yes,
ways about what I want
yes.
and what I want to see my prospective
Oh,
partner.
nice. Thank you. Thanks, James. Shaoyang, what about you? I mean, yours is even longer. It's like 8 years ago. So do you still remember the consultation and the profiling session? I mean, what stood out for you? What was something that, you know, you really remembered very well?
Unfortunately, Violet, it's been so long, so I don't really remember the questions. Sorry to
Yes.
disappoint you, but I don't really remember the questions. But I
Mm,
do know that I think it was Adrina at that time was very
mm,
patient with me, like
yes.
asking question by question. Then
Yes.
when there were answers that when I gave very vague answers or general
Yeah.
answers, she would
Yes.
take a little bit of time to ask a little bit in detail, and then
Mm-hmm.
she also set some like expectations, like you know maybe like don't expect instant success. You have to be a little bit patient, and probably trying to make it realistic instead of like
Yes.
promising the moon and the stars, and then in the end getting like guaji or melon seeds or something like that. Yeah, but
Yes.
I
Yes.
don't remember the questions, but I do remember
Mm-hmm.
she made me feel a little safe in
Mm-hmm.
sharing my responses, my very frank
Yes.
responses. So I didn't feel the
Yes.
need to like like hold back and just say
Yes.
what she wanted to hear. So
Yes.
I guess
Yes.
yeah, that was the process. I mean, that was how I felt at the time.
Yes, yes, awesome. I think that's really important, and I'm glad that you brought that up, Shaoyang, because I think we really want our clients to share very honestly with us what they are looking for, or you know, like what they feel might work for them. Because I think ultimately we also don't want you to like you say, like hold back, or you know, like kind of tiptoe around it, because there's no point, like, because at the end of the day, like if you don't tell us honestly, then you know we find something else or some characteristics that is totally, you know, out of what you're looking for, that doesn't work as well. Okay, so I think we have covered, you know, like the consultation part. Like for our participants, you know, like any other questions you want to find out more about the consultation part, you know, maybe you can type it in the chat box right now, and then, you know, like I'm happy to ask the questions on your behalf to James and Shaoyang, and then, you know, they can share a bit more about that as well. Okay, so of course now, you know, we go into the very exciting part, which is the dates. Okay, so okay, I know again, you know, for Shaoyang, it's like a very long time ago lah, okay? But maybe, you know, you still remember like the first date, you know, like when you were contacted about the first date, and then when you meet the first date. So what happened, you know, like during these dates? How does the process work? Like how were you even informed about the dates in the first place?
Okay, I try to remember as much as I can. So I believe it was email.
Yeah.
So it was email, and I think maybe text messages as well. So there
Mm-hmm.
was an email saying that, you know, that LA found me a suitable match with this
Yeah.
person, with this
Yeah.
lady.
Mm-hmm.
So there will be some information about this lady in terms of like hobbies, interests, and maybe some very basic factual information,
Mm-hmm.
which which is very very important because
Mm-hmm.
I mean, on the first day I really didn't like take much notice, especially on the interest part. So
Yes.
when the first date came, it was pretty awkward for me because
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what to say, and I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't very well prepared. So I felt like I was trying to like think out of questions of what to say, how to strike out a conversation. Yeah, I still remember it was a very cold December that time because I think that was the
Okay.
first. Yeah. So the whole process was pretty simple, just an email, and
Mm-hmm.
then some basic information about the ladies, and then, you know, asking whether I'm comfortable to go out with this lady. And I think that, and then I think there was, and then there were details, and then I mean, if I'm okay with it, I'll just say that yeah, then probably I think one of your dating consultants will arrange the the reservations for the place, book a place, and then, you know, for the two of us to actually talk it over. Usually, most of the time, it's a dinner. Yeah, weekday
Mm-hmm.
dinners.
Yeah. Okay, we have a question here. How long was it from the first consultation to the first date? Do you still remember, Xiaoyang?
I think mine was pretty fast. I think within
Mm-hmm.
like, I think at most only 2 months. Because I still
Mm-hmm.
remember I when I first went into LA, it
Mm-hmm.
was probably about maybe about October, September,
Mm-hmm.
October. I
Mm-hmm.
can't remember the specific details, but I did
Mm-hmm.
know that I think it was somewhere near Christmas. So for me, it was quite fast, probably about
Mm-hmm.
maybe at most 2 months at most.
Mm. Okay, thanks, Xiaoyang. Okay, James, what about you? So yours is a bit more recent, so maybe you can remember a bit more, you know, like how was the when you first heard about the date that was arranged for you, you know, like how did that whole thing work? Yeah. And also maybe to answer the question, like how long did it take from the first consultation to the first date, James?
Yeah, I think I obviously got the information from the consultants
Mm,
via email. They also called me
mm,
up about the prospective date with
yes,
some information on the person they've matched me with,
yes,
uh, on the person's occupation, on the person's hobbies, likes and dislikes. So then I was
yes.
excited. Obviously, I was excited, and I said, "Hey, let's do it." I
Yeah,
gave them a few alternative timings
yes,
and dates,
yes,
and they managed to set it up.
yeah,
I remember it was set up for either lunch or dinner and whenever we
yes,
could. So
yes.
yeah, so it was probably what 1 month since
Yeah,
when I joined. So my
yeah.
first date came after about 1 month, so it's pretty fast,
Mm,
faster than Shaoyang's.
okay.
Yeah, so that was fitting to my requirement.
Awesome. Okay, so now we get a bit more exciting already. Like, okay, so now we start with James first. Okay, so your first date with your wife. Okay, I mean, of course, at that time it wasn't your wife, lah, right? However, you know, like how did that date go? Like, you know, what was your first impression? Like, was it love at first sight? How did that go? Like, how did you feel? Do you still remember what you were thinking? Yeah. So share more with us, James.
Yeah, absolutely not love at first sight. I can say absolutely not first at love at first sight. I mean, it was a good date. I turned up early. I
Yes.
saw some questions on how do I prepare for the date as
Yes.
well. I obviously
Yeah.
groom myself, try to put on my best shirt,
Yes. Yes.
put my perfume on, and turn up early. And she was late, a little bit late, not
Yeah.
too bad. She
Yeah.
rushed.
Yeah. Yeah.
She arrived and, oh, sorry, I was late. And then we sat down. She
Yeah.
was perspiring really hard because I think
Yeah.
her air conditioning in the car broke down that
Oh
day.
no.
So
Okay.
so she was so upset with the car, and
Yeah.
she was perspiring. So I had to try to get her a lot of cold drinks as well, just
Yes.
to let her have some time to cool down. So she spent the first
Okay.
10 minutes drinking water, ice water,
Okay.
before we even
Okay.
start. I remember that, but overall it was a good conversation. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we felt very comfortable with each other.
Yes.
Uh, in fact, the date lasted 3 hours. For a very long
Wow.
time, we really got along and we chit chat.
Yeah.
First half an hour was about the car, so I had to give some mechanic advice what to do with that.
Okay.
Then we moved on. I gave her some context, to fix her air conditioning for the car. And after that,
Okay.
yeah, I think overall it went very well. We had what, a 3 hour date that I had to stop. I said, hey, you know what, I gotta go. So strangely, I'm the one who said, you know what, I gotta go because I have got another appointment coming up and I
Okay.
have to run off.
So it
Yeah,
was like a
otherwise
weekend lah. Is it over a
it
weekend?
was
You
it
during
was
a
a
Saturday, Sunday?
Saturday lunch. It was a
Saturday
Saturday lunch,
lunch.
so we had
Yep.
time. I,
Yep.
but time flew. I think we were very comfortable with each other. We chit chatted
Yep.
a lot, and I had
Yep.
to run off because I had another appointment set up,
Yes.
and
Yes.
it was good. And I think thereafter, yeah, I think it was a very good conversation. We could have continued for till dinner,
Yep.
literally.
Yep.
So it was a good date because of that. We really got along in terms of chit chatting.
So
Yeah.
you guys exchange details lah. When the date ended.
Yes. I asked for her number, and she gave
Mm-hmm.
number
Mm-hmm.
as well. And that evening, I text her as well. So I
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
do try to reach out and say, it was a good to meet up with you. And maybe you
Yes.
could hit up, another day. So yeah,
Yes.
we exchanged number after the date. Yes.
Yeah. So how soon did you meet up again for the second date?
Next weekend.
Next weekend. Okay, so
Yeah.
about a
So,
week lah.
so
But then you
yeah,
follow up immediately lah. Like you mentioned,
correct.
right after the date that evening, you followed up.
Correct. And then a few days later, that was a Saturday.
Yeah.
The same night, I reached out to her and say, it was nice meeting you. If you are free, we can catch up again next week or
Yes.
something. And then come Tuesday, Wednesday, I text her, any plans for the weekend? You want to do
Yes.
lunch?
Yeah.
And she said yes. I'm surprised
Uh,
as well. I'm shocked. I was expecting to be rejected. And I said, hey, have you fixed your car? Have you got your car fixed? Things like
yeah.
that. So it went well. So
Okay.
then it ended up almost every weekend. We were meeting up for lunch or dinner.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think some one of the questions asked just now was that how many dates did you go on before you meet your wife? How many matches did you meet?
Well, I signed up for 8 dates with lunch actually.
Mm-hmm.
My
Yeah.
wife was my fifth date.
Okay.
Fifth date. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So how many dates did you go on with your wife before like you all started dating exclusively?
Well, quite a few months actually. It's quite a
Mm,
few months.
quite a
So
few
I
months.
think easily 3 to 5 months. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it wasn't easy to get her to commit. But
Mm,
we've been like going out every weekend,
mm-hmm.
literally once a week,
Yes.
for at least 3 months, 4 months
Mm,
before I popped the question. Before I
mm.
felt she was ready to say yes. You don't want to ask a
Okay.
question that's going to turn you down, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah. So three to
Okay,
four months.
nice. 3 to 4 months. And we have another question here. So how, I think, you mentioned you went on 5 dates. So how many of these dates actually met your expectations?
I think the 5 dates probably two, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
two.
Yep.
Two of the matches were quite suitable, I think.
Yep.
Um, yeah, so out of five, two. So it's not a high probability, and I think it's reasonable because
Yes.
we're going to find someone who really matches up and you have the chemistry. I think it's not easy. It's a dime in a
Yes.
dozen.
Yeah. So I mean like, just to follow up on this question also, right? Like when, that there were dates that just didn't work out, right? Like what made you, like continue to just just go, because I think some people would just feel that, oh, this is such a waste of time, it's not going to work out, or things like that. Or I mean, even like maybe not dates by lunch actually, or just dates in general, because I think sometimes people to just kind of give up.
Yeah, I think everyone goes through that. You will
Yeah.
be disappointed, demoralized for a while, but you need to look at your end objective and be very clear about that. What is your objective?
Yes.
You're really looking for a partner. You got to keep going. If you give
Yes.
up, that's the end. That's it. Leave it
Yeah.
to fate. I think that's kind of hard. I think you need to give fate a bit of a helping hand. You know.
Yeah.
So I think for a while you may feel down. You can take a break. Why not? And then get back on again. You need to have a very clear sight of what is your objective. So I had very
Yes.
clear sight of my objective. So
Yeah.
I kept going. Obviously some of the dates are not very good.
Yeah.
We can talk more about that later. Some
Yes.
dates may not turn out good, but
Yeah.
you gotta keep going, because how many people you meet end up being your best friend? Just like
Yes.
friends, on dates or partners or wives or marriage.
Yeah.
How many people you meet at work or in your social circle end up being your best friend? Not many. So
Yeah.
I think it's the same correlation with that as well.
Awesome. Thanks, James. I think that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so Shaoyang, what about you? So, like, when you first met your now wife, like obviously that time you didn't know. Like, what was your first impression? How did the date work out?
Wow, that's a very interesting question. So
Mm,
the first time I went on a date with her, I actually wasn't feeling very well. So
mm,
I think there was a sore throat that I had, and then I think there was a mix up in the sense that
mm,
I was seated at one table and she was seated
mm.
at another
Oh
table.
no. Which
So
restaurant was this?
I can't remember lah. But I do know that I think that was what happened.
Okay.
Then yeah, so I think it was the service staff who later found out that
Yes.
that we were supposed to be seated together.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I think that was the first date experience we had lah. But it was
Yeah.
pretty short, probably about 1 hour or
Mm-hmm.
2 hours. I
Yeah.
think somewhere about 2 hours, because it
Mm-hmm.
was a weekday dinner,
Mm.
and I think both of us had to return home
Yes.
quite early lah.
Yeah.
So I still remember lah, the first date. It's like I had a sore throat and I was talking to
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
My first impression of her is somebody who's very very tidy,
Mm.
very how do I put it, very very neat, and then
Mm.
also very like patient.
Yeah.
So that was my first impression of her lah. So I think
Mm.
when she offered me, like when she ordered some peppery dish, I think I
Mm.
didn't want to turn her down lah. So I
Yeah.
ate the dish, and the next day was like, okay, sore throat became like Batman's voice. And yeah, so that was the first date that I went. I mean,
Mm.
on her
Yeah.
went on first date with her lah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
mm,
when did you go on the second date?
I think probably like 1 or 2 weeks later.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was
Mm.
also around around the same area, different place
Mm.
but same
Mm.
area. And
Mm.
she shared a bit about herself, where she's from, and then what interest she had. So we did an occasional text, like like I would just say maybe I'll just text her like once every 2 days about what she's doing, what she's up to, then
Mm-hmm.
just to find out a bit more about her. So
Mm.
I think the interval was about 1 or 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
So
same question that I asked James also. So how long did you guys, like date each other until before you actually started dating exclusively?
okay, that's also another good question, because we took about maybe half a year, maybe about six
Mm.
months. Yeah.
Yep.
So it was about 6 months, because she wanted to find out a little bit more about me. She's
Mm.
more on the cautious side, while
Mm.
I'm more of the maybe the exploring side, to see like
Mm.
where she's coming from lah.
Yep.
So for me, it was like, oh, okay, do you want to take 6 months, and then I mean, she didn't say it was 6 months, but she just said that she needed some time lah to consider lah.
Mm.
So how
Yes.
it
Yes.
came to 6 months, let's just say, long story short lah, let's just
Yeah.
say, I think I think I think I think I think it was a bit of a nudge from one of the family members.
Oh. Okay.
So that was how I thought. That was how, yeah, we moved from one status to another status lah. So
Mm-hmm.
probably, yeah.
Nice. Okay, so I just looked at the clock and I'm very shocked. It's already 9:49. Oh my goodness. Okay, so my final question for you guys, which is also a very, very important question, and I think that's also the reason why, like a lot of our participants have tuned in tonight, right? So maybe we start with James. So the question is, what advice do you have for our singers who are listening in tonight on how to find love? Like what are some of your tips, your pointers for them? So maybe James, you want to start first.
Yeah, I think the first pointer, join lunch actually, that will help you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
We
No, but
didn't pay him to say that. But anyway, yeah, please continue.
no, I mean, we're all very busy at work, and our social circles get smaller as we age, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
37 when I joined. So
yeah.
obviously, before that, I had several girlfriends,
Yes,
relationships, and the
yes,
social circles get smaller as you get busier with work.
yes.
So I think it's the advice is, if you're really looking for a partner, I think
Yeah,
you need to explore and extend your network,
yeah,
in a very focused manner. So I think
yeah,
lunch actually can help you extend that network that
yeah,
you are unable to do so. And
yeah.
and when you get into dating, you're gonna meet people that you don't like. You're gonna meet
Mm,
people who don't meet your expectations.
yeah,
And sometimes you may not be meeting the person's expectations as well. It's not a
yeah,
match. So
yeah,
so out of 10 dates, you might not even find one good fit. You can
yeah,
find one. I think that's great. So don't give up. I think if you know what you're looking for, just keep going. Keep going. Stay focused. The only way to find a partner is to make sure that you are truthful and be yourself. Be honest.
yeah, yeah,
Keep meeting new people,
yeah,
because the first one you meet may not be the right one. You never know.
yeah, yeah,
So I think you just gotta keep moving forward and be yourself. Don't be
yeah,
someone you're not,
yeah,
because after dating for 3 4 months and then you become your real self, it may not work out. So yeah, so
yeah.
be yourself, keep trying, don't give up. I think it's always possible to find someone. There's always someone out there for you.
Awesome, thanks. So James is like a true blue D. Yeah. So I think those of you who listened in last week, you'll still remember what D stands for, what some of the traits of a high D. Maybe you can type in the chat as well. Yeah. While we now move on to Shaoyang. So Shaoyang, what about you? Like, what are some of the tips that you have for our singers who's listening right now? Like, on on finding the right one or looking for love.
Well, I would say just have fun with the dating process. Try to keep your options open because it's still an exploring stage. So I think going in with certain, like, I mean, there's nothing wrong going in with like certain expectations, but I would say that on the whole, I think it's still more important to find out, like, who you really want to spend time with, because at the end of the day, it's really about, like, because sometimes things just change over time lah. Then some expectations, you may realize that when you meet the person you're looking for, they just don't matter anymore. They're just like, okay, maybe the girl should be like, maybe the lady should be like, maybe 10 centimeters shorter than me. So when you meet somebody you like, it's like, and why am I thinking about having like 10 centimeters shorter than me? I mean, these are just some things that I mean, these are just some things that change over time because you
Yes.
discover like what's important to you and what's maybe not so important. And you have to go through the process of exploration. And because it's something you can't avoid, you can't just say like have a plug and play template, which
Yeah.
I think which I think doesn't really work quite well because
Yeah.
you don't really get a chance to find out who you are and who you really want to spend time with. And
Yes.
the magic is just in the exploration and having fun. So I would just
Yeah.
say have fun, keep options open, and then in the process you find out who you really are and you have a better idea by the time.
Okay, thank you, Shaoyang. Okay, I said that was the last question, but I thought this question by Anne is really good now, so I'll just ask it to both of you, okay? So Anne has this question. When was the moment you knew your wife was your wife? So I guess, probably there's a time when you decided that, okay, I think I'm going to propose. Okay, so maybe we start with you, Shaoyang. Like, what was that moment when you knew your wife was your wife?
Oh, well, I just went on feeling itself, like
Mm,
the sense that, someone's willing to like go out with you for about at least a year, means that
Mm-hmm.
they are probably very serious about what, probably they're serious about you, and you're
Mm-hmm.
also probably very serious about the other person itself. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
people don't just commit their time easily to. I mean, we don't easily commit our time to anyone that easily, right? It means like if that person is not suitable, you just like say, okay, I don't want to waste your time. Maybe
Yes.
the dreaded phrase, let's be friends. So yeah, so
Okay, so for
so
Shaoyang, for you, it was like a feeling lah, like you just
yeah,
felt that
correct.
okay, this is the right person for me. James,
Yes.
what about you? Like when did you know? Like what was the moment?
I think you just knew. I think both
Mm-hmm.
both both parties would just know that it's that moment, is that time. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think I'm able to describe or give a straightforward answer. I think you
Mm-hmm.
have to feel for it yourself. When
Mm-hmm.
when the time comes and both parties just somehow moves in the same direction.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the advice to everyone is go through that, and if you found someone, you will know. You will know. I don't
Yeah.
think we
So
should
I
give
think
it.
like, because James, you mentioned that before meeting your wife, you did have a couple of relationships before that as well, but you never had this feeling lah.
Yes, correct. Never
Yeah.
had this feeling because I think there was a mismatch in
Yes.
personalities. There's a mismatch
Mm-hmm.
in life goals.
Yes.
So over time, after 1, 2, 3 years of relationship, the longest I
Yes.
had was probably a 5-year relationship.
Oh wow.
Then
Mm-hmm.
so uh, we just sort of faded off over time.
Yes.
In the last year.
Mm-hmm.
So we just knew,
Yes. Yep.
that whether it's meant to be. So
Yes.
so I think once you know you're ready and it's the right one, you will know.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Okay, thank you so much, James and Shaoyang, for taking time out to join us tonight. So, like Deborah say, oh, the advice from both of them is really good. Thanks, Deborah. So maybe you all can share with us, like, what is your biggest takeaway from tonight's sharing? Like, what is the one thing that you feel that wow, like I'm really going to apply that. I find that really useful. Yes, so share with us in the chat right now. Yeah, and meanwhile, I just want to let you know as well. So thank you so much for participating tonight. So like always, we always have a special gift for you. So tonight's special gift is actually an ebook about reasons you aren't getting second dates. Okay, so I think it might be helpful for some of you tonight because you all are mentioning like, oh, how to get success. How do I get to the next stage and things like that. So I think maybe this ebook would be very helpful. Okay, so it's called Reasons Why You're Not Getting Second Dates, prepared by our dating experts. Okay, so you can just go to the link that Chris is going to put up, and then to get your free gift as well as a free dating analysis session. Okay, so the other thing that I want to share with you also is that I think I already mentioned, do follow us on Facebook, do follow us on Instagram, and we are going to have like a webinar every week, right? So we are going to have a webinar next Thursday as well. So, however, we have something very, very special for next week's webinar. It's actually going to be conducted in Cantonese. Okay, so who can speak Cantonese? Maybe you all want to share in the chat. So, because like we have this special request from our community in Hong Kong as well. So they say, yes, I can speak English, but I would love to, have more maybe webinar in Cantonese as well. So we thought to be fair, maybe we should, have a Cantonese webinar. Yes, so next week's webinar is going to be in Cantonese. So do check out our website. The link is going to be up soon. So lunch50.com/webinar. I've really enjoyed tonight's session. I hope you have as well. So I can see some of you have said that, Sin Hui say thanks for the sharing. Sunny say what he has learned is never give up on finding love. And White Kid say when you meet the one who is the right fit, you will know and don't give up. Purple say don't give up, good advice. And then Ripka say great webinar and very inspiring. Okay, awesome. So thank you so much, guys, and especially a very, very big thank you to our two guests tonight, James as well as Shaoyang. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Maybe our participants, you want to show them some love as well. Do type thank you in the chat box right now. So thank you so much, guys, for joining us. We wish you all the best. Do send our best regards to your wife as well for letting you take the time off tonight to share your love story with us, and we look forward to catching up with you at some point. So thank you, James. Good night.